Hi, this is Jana Nipostada and my partner Tina Grello. We're here from Gulfport, Florida, from Let It Be Ice Cream Shop.
I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing, keep up the hustling. I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing.
Hi, welcome to Hustleburg. Thank you for sharing your time with us as we chat with entrepreneurs here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We talk about how they got started, how they built their business, and how they serve our community. I'm Brett Bittner, and I'm the host of Hustleburg, and I started Beyond Your Side Hustle because I found that most entrepreneurs lack the time and expertise to build their own digital marketing strategy and still get results. As an entrepreneur here in St. Pete myself, I love meeting and talking with fellow small business owners about what they do and sharing that conversation with you. Now, you may have noticed a few changes with the podcast lately. One of the biggest is that we're now doing video. So if you're only listening to this episode, whether it's on your favorite podcast player, radiostpete.com, or Sunshine 96.7 FM, please know that this episode and all future episodes are available for you to view on YouTube and beyondyoursidehustle.com. Just visit beyondyoursidehustle.com/YouTube to subscribe or to watch your favorite episode of Hustleburg. If you find anything of value in this episode, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you would, also rate and review the episode as well, because it sends us the right signals to know how the conversations add value for you. Finally, if you're interested in being a guest in an upcoming episode and you own a small business here in St. Pete, let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. So Janet and Tina, why do you connect with your neighbors through extraordinary ice cream?
Well, I think that we originally felt that there was really not an ice cream shop here. And I think that ice cream always brings people back to that fun memory when they were a kid, going out and getting one with their grandparents and so forth. And so it really allows everybody to just come together in a happy space and at the same time to share and create memories for their children going forward in the future.
Yeah, we really wanted it to be a community thing. We felt like Gulfport has such a strong community. And when we were thinking about what we were going to do, this was all community centered. Everything that we did, we thought about how we wanted to set up the shop, kind of how we wanted things to be served, how we wanted our coworkers to communicate, how we wanted a bar, because we envisioned that people would come in and sit at the bar and talk to us. So everything we did was really around the ice cream and around the community.
So what is it that makes you different from other cold treats in the Gulfport area specifically and in the greater St. Pete area on the whole?
Well, I think that we started with going back to a little bit more of a retro style. Our shop is a little bit more like a 50s and 60s style. We play older music. We have nights when there's a lion and a song will come on and the whole crowd will start singing. We have coworkers behind the counter who actually jump in and start singing older songs and so forth. We keep our selection at a minimal. It's like maybe 16 flavors at one time, which is really a small amount compared to other ice cream shops. But we do offer probably 5 to 7 specials every day that rotate out. We make our ice cream in smaller batches, so we feel like it's fresher. And we also have an opportunity where our customers can come in and actually request a flavor. And because I do make it in-house, I'm more than happy to accommodate them in many ways if I can. So it allows a lot more community interaction with it, but at the same time, how can I say, you don't really get to go in an ice cream shop and say, hey, what do you think if you made this? And then next week walk in and find that they've actually done it. So that's one way that we do it. And then Tina will.
Yeah, I think that, obviously I feel like we are set apart from some of the other places that sell ice cream because we make our own. So right
Sure.
there, that's something
Absolutely.
that's, but also we have pretty standard flavors. So we have the vanilla, the chocolate, the strawberry. So a lot of the older people in the community that come in, they can relive their childhood really easily. But because we rotate flavors, because we rotate 5 specials, we can do things that are more new, that maybe expand palettes. So we have a little bit of everything. We have a lot of control over what we're doing and the quality of the products that we're using. And I would say that is the other thing, is that we are really careful with the products that we use to make the ice cream. And I think that is another area that really sets us apart from other places.
We also make, most of our sauces are made in-house. The hot fudge is made from scratch. The salted caramel salted caramel ice cream is made from scratch. Our baked goods. So it gives that feeling of nostalgia where you kind of like how it was. We still offer malts. We still offer banana splits. We still offer sodas. You know, we offer egg creams for those that are from the New York, Brooklyn area. So those are things that really could take the customer back. And because we have such a clientele, we have the snowbirds that come down. We do get a lot of requests for different things that we wouldn't necessarily see in Florida, but we see them up in the Northeast area especially, and we're able to offer that to the customer.
Now, what was it that inspired you to start an ice cream window that's now blossomed into a full service ice cream shop?
I think so. Initially, what happened was we moved here and we had been here for a couple of months. And I said, I really want a mint chocolate chip ice cream. And we went on Google and we were like, where's the closest ice cream place? And we both kind of looked at each other. And I even put a post on the Gulfport Facebook site. Is there really no ice cream shop in Gulfport? And it had probably close to 100 responses of no, and then where the closest one was. So we took one of the closest ones, which we had to go all the way over to St. Pete Beach, and kind of looked at each other and was like, that's kind of silly. And one thing led to another a little bit further down the road, and that's when we started the window, because there was no space available on this main drag to do a ice cream. So we had to start small, kind of getting our name out there, getting our branding out there. And then as soon as something opened up, we were able to jump into it. But that's kind of how everything started. It was that there wasn't one.
Now, what were you guys doing before that made ice cream what you wanted to go into? What experience did you bring with you?
I have a lot of experience in the restaurant industry. Actually, I've been the general manager. I've done from hosting up to general managing of several different restaurants, mostly up in Philadelphia. So I've had a background. I like the food industry a lot. I like being in it. I love the interaction, and I've always wanted to kind of have my own. I've been in charge of other people's, but I've never really had my own. So for me, that's kind of what was inspiring. Janet's a little different.
I worked in corporate America for 20 plus years, and I've been around food service. I've been in retail since I was probably 14 years old. So I understood. I worked in restaurants, I bartended, that sort of thing. But at the same time, I think it started with filling a niche. And at the same time, I love ice cream. So I've never had a bad ice cream experience, to be honest with you. I mean, so it was just one of those things that, I guess it goes back to the previous question, which is it allowed everybody just to come together in a good way. And it's easy. It's not really, you don't find things too difficult or too complicated when it goes to coming into an ice cream shop. I mean, at the end of the day, it really is pretty simple. So we wanted to keep it simple. We wanted to keep it fun. We wanted to keep it community. And the fact that there was already a void here, and we just felt like it was a good time and a place to try to fill that.
And
so who would you,
go ahead. I would say adding on to that, for our experience, when we looked at filling the void, we initially looked at how are we going to fill that? And we looked all around at, who we could bring in to have, because most people bring in ice cream. So they bring in whoever the different products are. And we went around, we did a lot of due diligence. And then we kind of said, or I kind of said, you should make the ice cream. And an amazing baker. I mean, she has a very scientific brain. She's very much, that precise. And I felt very confident that she could make the ice cream. Having had not a lot of knowledge in it, she was a little bit more gun shy, but quickly caught up and caught on. And honestly, I think most people that come in here, I feel very confident that almost everybody that comes in here will tell you that she's doing an amazing job.
Now, who would you describe to be your ideal ice cream eater?
You know, that's a hard question because I can go a couple of different ways with that. Obviously, the little kid that comes in here and is jumping up and down and gets really excited, or we've had a lot of, this is their first ice cream ever experiences. Okay. Kid, it's their first ice cream, and that's really fun. It warms your heart. You know, who's not going to smile about that? I mean, it's really nice. Right. But for me, the people that I really love are when we do a flavor like lemon cardamom or ginger cream, or some of the more, I would call them newer flavors, maybe a little bit more expansive to your palate. I love those people. I love when they come in and they want to taste like 5 of them, and they just stand here and their eyebrows raised and they're like, oh my gosh, that's my favorite customer. And the people that are like, well, as Janet was saying, hey, would you try this? And then we work with them and we get, we work on the flavor, and then it's this amazing flavor. Like that to me is, I don't know, that's my favorite customer.
Mine is the grandfather who brings in the little kid and says,
sure.
When I was a kid, first of all, when I was a kid, it was only a quarter. And then they go on to, sit down and describe how they used to go to usually it's the drugstore or whatever, and go to the Woolworths counter and that sort of thing. And the little kid just sits there and, they're sharing that experience. And I love what I like to call date night. Friday night, couples come in here, they sit down, they split a banana split, and you can see they're on a date night. And it's not even the young kids. Sometimes it's the older couples. We had our anniversary party not too long ago, and we finished it off with some music in the evening, and there was a couple out here dancing the night away and they were probably in their 70s, but the music we were playing took them back to their, to their heyday. And I think that, that's what I like.
They're not very, if somebody comes in here and they seem slightly unhappy, it does not last long. Like they might be having a bad day, and 9 times out of 10, we'll greet them and ask them how they're doing, and their answer is about to be better. Like, people are pretty happy here. So all the customers are pretty ideal for us.
It's really tough to be upset about ice cream. I don't know that it's even possible, as long as you get a flavor that you like, to get upset about having some ice cream.
Exactly.
Now, what does someone's ice cream selection say about them as a person? What have you guys learned when someone orders a specific flavor or chooses to have a sundae or a split? What does that say about them?
In this day and age, I don't know if you can name that, because you will see the people that are struggling. Like they want the banana split, but they're going to go with the kid scoop, Okay. So you do see that. I feel like it's more, for me, the flavor. We'll talk about, are you wanting to be taken back in time, or are you want to be taken forward? It's kind of like, where's your mindset? And that person can change. One day they can come in and say, I want butter pecan. Oh, my grandmother ate butter pecan. My mother ate butter pecan. And then the next day they'll come in and they'll have something that's, berry Bordeaux sorbet with Bordeaux wine, and they'll enjoy that just as much. I think it's more a mindset of where you are in the moment. What are you looking for in that moment when you walk into the shop? How do you want to feel today?
I also think that everybody has their favorite flavor. And so when you go into a ice cream shop, especially when you've gone into a new one and you've never been before, it's always like a competition. Like, well, my favorite is this, and how does yours stand up? So there is that conversation. The vanilla, I always call the vanilla person the purist. And I have the guy the other day, I said, oh, the vanilla, the purist. And he said, nobody's ever called me pure, joking around. But,
sure.
There are the strawberry lovers, and they will tell you that the best strawberry is whatever, and they want to see how ours compares to that. So I would say most of the younger, for some reason, I think young little girls always lean towards the strawberry because it's pink and they get their, they think it's kind of funny. And, cookies and cream seems to have a certain age group, but at the same time, we sell more cookies and cream to 30 and 40-year-old men than we do most of the kids. So
That's my flavor.
Exactly.
The other thing that happens that's super interesting is you will have your people that come in and say, I don't like anything in my ice cream. I want a plain chocolate, I don't want any crunch. And then you have the opposite. I want everything in my ice cream, like, fully loaded with 5 different textures. So that is kind of interesting. And the people that like it fully loaded are really the teenagers, 20, 30-year-olds. And it's kind of like the Ben and Jerry experience, really, because
Right.
there's a lot of stuff in that. And they really love that. Whereas you do have an older population that doesn't want all that stuff in their ice cream. So we try really hard to have a little bit of both sides. So you can really find something here when you come in, no matter which way you lean towards.
We also have a stronger non-dairy or vegan
Okay.
palate that walks in the door. We start seeing that a lot more prevalent, and we certainly always have 2, if not 3 or 4 available for them. Some of that is a non-dairy oat milk base or a almond milk or cashew milk, and some of it is just your standard fruit sorbet, which is made without the milk and the dairy. But we do try to offer that for people. We're seeing a lot more of the, can't have gluten, that sort of thing. So we're mindful of that. It is, it's a challenge at times, but at the same time, I like being pushed to be a little bit more creative without your standard, vanillas and chocolates and things like that. Most of those customers, they don't want to be in that situation. Physically, their body just can't tolerate the dairy anymore. So they want to still have that great experience. They want to still have, have a great scoop of ice cream, but at the same time, they can't have it. And so for me, it's being able to give them that without shunning them or making them feel like there's no options available for them.
And then some people are, vegan by choice, and we certainly want to support that as well. And we have a lot of people that come in here and they thank us. They will come, thank you so much for having non-dairy flavors. And our goal, Janet's goal, I know, has been to make them really good. We don't want them to be, we want them to be just as good as the regular dairy. And I think we're getting really, really good at that. I mean, we're getting really close to the flavors being equal. It is always going to be a different texture because milk is different than almond milk or cashew milk or oat milk. But flavor-wise, they're right up there.
Now, what is one thing that you would like every member of the Hustleburg community to know about how to find the best quality ice cream?
How to find it.
I would say don't settle.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to be that simple, but if you go to an ice cream shop and you pick your favorite flavor and you try it, and if you don't feel it's worth the calories, then keep looking, because there are great ice cream shops out there. There's a lot more creativity. There's a lot of small little artisan shops that are out there. And I think it's important to support those that are doing their best to give you a good quality product, no different than a restaurant. And at the same time, challenge people to give you a better product for your money and for your time. And I think that supporting small local businesses who are doing that and who are really trying to give you a good product. And, I always joke around and say, if you're going to spend the calorie, then, make it matter.
Make it count, right.
That for me, that would be what I would tell somebody. Don't settle.
Yeah. And also, looking at what if somebody's making it like we're making it, you can always talk to us about what's in it. What are our ingredients, what's in it. We have a lot of people that will come in. I can have this, but I can't have that. And we will really, for example, we have a regular customer who comes in, well, her husband comes in probably daily and comes in with her husband and doesn't eat ice cream as often, but really wanted a licorice ice cream. However, she's gluten-free. And we didn't know right off the bat, but a lot of licorice actually has gluten in it. So she couldn't just have any licorice ice cream. So Janet found a gluten-free licorice ice cream, or gluten-free licorice, and made the ice cream for her. So, they worked together on it, and it actually, she wasn't the only one that enjoyed it. It sold out. So it was, that was involved. But that, you should be able to, I feel like you should be able to talk with people about what is in the product and you know, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And we love hearing when somebody's coming here, because we do get a lot of people traveling, about other ice cream shops, and they will tell us, if you're ever here, check this out or check that out. We love doing that. I think it's what makes it more fun. It's what makes, and it helps your creativity, and it, I don't know, it pushes you to be the best of the best, really.
What is the most important lesson that you guys have learned thus far with Let It Be ice cream?
So I mean, there are so many lessons that we have learned. I think owning a business, and I've had my own business before, and I guess maybe this is just a giant reminder, owning a business is so many different facets. There's so much to it. You have the quality of service you want to provide. You have the quality of product that you want to provide. You have coworkers that you need to bring on and train, and you have customers. So you have all these areas, and it's how, I guess the lesson for me is, how do you balance all those areas and be really, really good at it? It's a constant challenge for us, and not settle, especially during times now, because finding employees has been way more challenging than ever. But we never want to say, okay, well, we'll bring on that person if they're not the caliber of person that we want to have in the shop, just because we need to have somebody here. So it's been, how do you keep to your standard, make sure everybody's a good fit, because obviously you want anybody that's working here to be happy. They want to feel really happy. You want to be really happy. So the lesson more has been, how do you balance it all? And it's a daily thing, but I think after we've been here 1 year, and I think we're getting much better about balancing it all and keeping to the standards that we are committed to.
I agree with all of that. I also think, for me personally, it was letting go of the negative chatter and having more faith in things that I couldn't necessarily see that I could do. And I can run a business, that's not a problem. I was a project manager for many years. I can manage I can keep a lot of plates spinning in the air. But at the same time, when it's something that I don't have a strength in, or I'm not proficient in at the time, having faith that I will get there is a challenge for me. And at the same time, I think it also, when one of my coworkers is able to see me struggling and being real with them and say, you know, I'm not great at this. We treat our coworkers just as much as they're family for us. And
right.
So it really is, we want to enhance everyone's strength. We want to be able to take everybody to the next level. And we have one of our guys who's a great artist. And so now he does all of our little signs and makes all of our labels for our ice cream. We didn't really know that until one day he said, hey, can I draw on this? And now he does it all. But those are the things that I think are important, is to find people's strengths and then allow them to come forth. And, you know, that's probably one of the things that I've learned is give everybody an opportunity to shine, and I assure you they will.
Yeah, we are definitely a team here. We came into it wanting to be a team. Janet and I came in with the same mindset about how we wanted to see everything run. We work the floor right with everybody else. And yeah, we clean the bathrooms, everybody cleans the bathrooms. There's no us and our coworkers. We are all coworkers. We all work together. And I feel like the lesson is keep doing that, because as Janet said, when we struggle with something, we don't hide it. We'll say, we're not strong at this, because then it gives everybody who works with us an opportunity to say to us, I'm not strong at this. And that's okay, because that's real. And that's kind of how we live our lives. We live our lives very open. We want to communicate. We want that from anybody that's working with us. And it's worked. I mean, we have wonderful people who work here with us. Really, really wonderful.
I think it's also from a customer perspective, I think it's also important that I think a lot of customers, they just want to be heard. They want to have a conversation. They want to be engaged. They want to come in and sit down and make conversation. And there are few places I think today that you can go that and actually engage with somebody that isn't doing it because they're waiting for a tip or something like that. And so it is kind of nice. And sometimes we get customers and they don't have anybody else to talk to. They really do. They come in here, they sit down, they're on a consistent weekly basis. They always get their banana split. They always sit down and chit chat. So it, you know, I think that's important. And in this day and age, connection, I think, is more important than ever. And if we can provide that and at the same time provide an ice cream, that's great. But I tell people all the time, you don't have to come in here and eat the ice cream. Sometimes you can just come in and sit down and chit chat. So I don't want you to feel like you have to, you know, stay away because you're watching your calories, so to speak.
Now, in your wildest dreams, where is it that you would want to take this, and what are you doing to get there?
Well, I think for me, and Janet's answer may be a little different. What I dreamed of for Let It Be is for it to be an amazing ice cream shop where we are consistently busy, not over busy, not under busy. We are on our way there. That is my focus, where, you know, every day we have that consistent flow. The door is consistently opening and closing and opening and closing. And it's the nice flow, not where we're slammed and there's a line out the door, although that's fun. And we all love that adrenaline rush. We've had that and we love it. But I also love that consistent where we are 6 days a week, maybe 7 days a week, busy. That is my goal. I love the size of what we have. I don't want to say, oh, let's grow. And, you know, I personally don't want to have another Let It Be. I love exactly what we have. And I just want to see it continually busy and, yeah, for everybody, for our employees, for our customers, for us, just that nice turnaround all the time.
I think for me, I would say it's very similar. I have no desire to add a second shop. The only thing I would add is maybe figuring out some form of a delivery system, but only if it's there and the people want it. I mean, right now we have a great pint system that people come in and buy their pints, and you know they can pre-order special pints and things like that. So that works out really well. I think for me, it's those snowbirds when they leave and come back and go, "Oh my God, I missed you," or "Oh my God, you know, we're back. When are you going to make this?" And those are the fun things for me that I really appreciate. Having a little bit more of that would be fun, would be really cool. Watching children grow up, I think is a great, I like that. I would love to see a little kid that came in here for their first time and then see when they're starting school and then see when they're in middle school, that sort of thing. I think that's fun and exciting. Same with my coworkers. Having kids that start with us as a freshman and then go off to college, you know, that's endearing. That's something that communities are based on, and I would love to be a part of that.
I love how community focused you guys were about that. It isn't about growing bigger, faster, better. It's about just being a part of the community and having the repeat and watching people grow and the like. Now, how much would you say that you're working in your business on the day-to-day versus on your business to develop and grow toward that goal of community immersion?
I would say for me, it's probably 50-50 right now. During busy season, it's probably more like 80-20. I'm in the shop a lot more, but right now, right now my goal is how can we keep the door opening? How do we keep it? And so where are we going? We do a little event, we do this, we do this marketing. So I have a lot of focus on that. And then 50% of the time I'm in the shop, just making sure everything is running very smoothly, positively. If there's any glitches, that we work them out, that kind of stuff. Janet's a little different because she's obviously churning ice cream every day.
I would probably say 20 to 30 is in my head. How can we grow and how can we be a little bit more creative in the community as well. I mean, I'll keep my ear to somebody's having an event and I might say, hey, let's, you know, make a donation or things like that. So that works for me. But I would say from a time perspective, 80% of the time I'm either buying the product to make the product or the supplies or doing payroll or, you know, that sort of thing. So it's a little different, but I'm also impressed with, you can get a lot done in an 8-hour day when when you can focus, and at the same time, I would say I no longer have an 8-hour day. I used to have an 8-hour day, have 12 to 15-hour days, but it doesn't feel that like it used to. When you're, for me, when you're working for yourself, it's a lot more rewarding, and it doesn't feel as draining as when I worked for a corporation.
Now, I know Tina mentioned moving here from Philadelphia. Did you move here from Philadelphia as well, Janet?
I was living up in that area, yeah.
And when you guys aren't working, making the best ice cream in town, what are some of your favorite things to do in and around St. Pete as a whole?
Well, we love when we can. Breakfast is something we can go out for a lot because
Sure.
we don't open. So we like going to different breakfast places and supporting other local places. We also love going out to dinner, especially if we have a minute to go out with our friends. If we're not, we have dreams about getting our kayaks out. It hasn't happened. We keep talking about it. We like to be on the water. We have 2 little dogs who are our world, so we love to be at the park with them.
We have recently renovated a little RV, 1992. So we love to go out and do, sometimes we'll just do overnights at Fort DeSoto, which is a beautiful park. We'll take the bikes out over there and go for the day. I love getting the kayak in the water. Hasn't happened as much as it used to be. But I think for me, it's really just hanging out with friends, taking some time, chilling out, doing a little garden work, little things around the yard and the house, without feeling like it's a chore and having like a stressful moment with it. Quiet season right now is easier, but at the same time, it's also the time when I feel like we play around with different things and try out different things. When we're in wind season, you don't do that as much. So I would say that.
What are some of your favorite local businesses to support? You mentioned you love going out to dinner, you love going out to breakfast. What are some of those restaurants that you like to go to? And what are some of your favorite other local businesses that you guys support? It's a great opportunity to give a shout out.
Yeah, we try to go as many places as we can. We love the Comfort Cafe, which is over here. It's a little off the beaten path. So the beach where we are is where everybody else is. So we like to try to go off the beaten path. We love to go we do like to go into St. Pete on Central and try different places over there. Where else do we like to go? We go over to Tierra Verde sometimes. We try to stay close to home so we're not, driving a long distance and then driving back, because we get really short snippets of time.
I think that locally, we also, Tutto Bene is right here. We've gone out to dinner there a few times for the evening, that sort of thing.
Of course, we love Neptune's. They're right next to us. We probably have lunch between Salty's, Sandwich Bar, and Neptune's. We probably have our lunches there pretty regularly.
There's, I hate to say it, I'm horrible with names. I can tell you what I like to eat, but it takes me a few minutes to remember the restaurant name. I think Seaworthy is a nice restaurant over in Tierra Verde that we really like.
People as brick and mortar. Oh, recently we stumbled upon, I scrolled through St. Pete foodies on Facebook, and everybody was talking about the library. So we had a free night and we went to the library, and boy, was that delicious. Yeah, that was awesome. Really good. So yeah, we just try to go all around, all different places.
But we also have a great barbecue grill at home that we like to some nights just hang out and throw something on the grill and have a quiet evening at home.
And if we love the local music around here. Is great. Gulfport always has music. We love Marion and the Professor, and they were just playing the other night, and so we just love to go and sit and listen to them. That is probably one of our go-tos, is to just be able to relax locally, not far from home, not far from the shop if we have to jump in, because sometimes we do, and listen to music.
Now, what upcoming events or activities or offerings do you have that you want to make sure that we all put on our calendars?
So, fall flavors are coming. This fall is coming, even though we are in Florida. It is, I promise you. So we have our fall flavors coming. We just had a contest of the most creative fall flavor that somebody could come up with, and we voted. So the winner was a pumpkin cheesecake with waffle cone bits. And that will be coming out within the next week. We have some other fall flavors that are kind of maple walnut, other pumpkin ones, apple pies, and then we do adult ice creams. So
Okay.
we have a pumpkin latte with Bailey's coming out. So the fall flavors will be out, and then we'll roll right into the other holiday flavors. We'll probably have something around the holiday time. We haven't decided specifically on that. I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself for trick or treat. Last year we did a really fun little cups of ice cream for the kids, a candy corn ice cream. We will do that again this year for trick or treat. So they came by and they all got a little ice cream.
And then just your holiday flavors. You know, your traditional eggnog, the spiked eggnog, the hot toddy, that sort of thing.
Now, where can people find out more about Let It Be Ice Cream, all the flavors that you offer, the things that are going on, and be able to connect with you? This is the perfect opportunity for you to share your website, social media handles, and for those who are listening only, those are going to be in the show notes of your favorite podcast player. If you can't find it there, you'll always be able to find it at beyondyoursidehustle.com/letitbeice-cream. Ladies, take it away.
So you can find us on Facebook, Let It Be Ice Cream. Also on Instagram, Let It Be Ice Cream. We have a website, letitbeicecream.com. And everything is on there. I would say for flavors, we always have our standard flavors listed everywhere. If you ever want to know a specific flavor, the best thing to do is call the shop and talk to us directly. Specials rotate so often, vegan flavors rotate so often that I don't update the Facebook or the Instagram. However, I do put our specials on there. So if you actually follow us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram, daily, I try to post what's up, like what do we have in the case that we're dipping right now, and we do a bunch of pictures of things and stuff like that, so you can actually see what our ice cream looks like as well.
Or you can just walk by and look at the board outside in front of the door.
We do offer taste, so you can always taste and see what you want and before you commit.
Awesome. Janet, Tina, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today and share Let It Be Ice Cream with the Hustleburg community.
Thank you. Thank you
We
so much.
appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, you did it. You've just listened to Hustleburg. Hustleburg is produced by Beyond Your Side Hustle, where we help you craft an awesome strategy for your business and build a community that supports you today and in the future. We help budding entrepreneurs go beyond their side hustle and into the business they're dreaming of. If we provided you with something valuable with this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast player, especially you Apple Podcast listeners. This is something that only takes a few seconds that will help us shine the spotlight on all the great businesses St. Pete has to offer and grow our community. Speaking of great businesses here in St. Pete, if you're a small business owner here and you'd like to share the story of your business with the Hustleburg community, please let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. Did you know that at Beyond Your Side Hustle, we're helping small business owners reach ideal engagement on any social media platform with a free 3-week training by email? It's available for you at beyondyoursidehustle.com/3weeks. You can also find a link for it in the show notes. Start right now to learn how you can fix your feed to serve you, start engaging on social the right way, and create a community around you and your business. The opening music in this episode is Defining Your Dreams by my friend Rhymer Educator. I encourage you to check him out on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to great music. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to sharing with you how we do business in the Burg.